Hello, my name is Fernando. I'm a tutor at Riverside Middle School, and today we're going to be covering negative exponents. I've had to use this from not only just in high school in Algebra 1, but all the way to college, going from discrete mathematics to numerical analysis. So these concepts are pretty important, and you should keep these in mind. Alright, so let's go over the first problem. Let's say they give you x to the power of negative 4. Here, one way that I was taught on doing this would be, since there is that negative in the exponent, you can just make that into a fraction in a sense. So it'd be x to the power of negative 4 over 1. In this case, in order to get rid of the negative 4, you can take the x to the other side and flip the equation, and that will get rid of the negative, leaving you with just 1 over x to the power of 4. In that case, then you can just input whatever number they give you for x. So let's say x is equal to 2. It'd be 1 over 2 to the power of 4, which is 1 over 16. So it'd be just as simple as flipping the fraction over. Okay, so when it comes to a fraction with a negative exponent, this can get a little bit more tricky than the last problem. So in this case, you would still do the same thing, where it would be x to the negative 3, which would be 1 over x to the third. But when you have a fraction, which would be x squared over 1, divided by a fraction, you would flip the variable, or copy change flip, which would mean that you are left with x squared times x cubed over 1. Well, it'll just be following the basic principle of multiplying fractions. And when you're multiplying exponents, you add them. So it'd be x to the power of 5 over 1. So we'll just be adding 2 plus 3 and still leaving it as the exponent, x to the power of 5. Okay, so on to the next problem. In this case, we're going to have x to the power of negative 2 divided by y to the power of negative 3, and all of this to the power of negative 2. Now there's two ways of doing this. One of them would be, in order to get rid of the negative exponent we have here, multiplying by the negative exponents each one individually. So that would be the equivalent of x to the power of negative 2 to the power of negative 2, and y to the power of negative 3 to the power of negative 2. In this case, when you have an exponent to the power of an exponent, you multiply them. So it'd be x to the power of 4, negative 2 times negative 2. And over here will be y to the power of 6. And right there, you've now eliminated the negative exponents, and you can just use the more simple positive exponents that you're left with. Another way of doing this, which might come in handy depending on the problem, would be, since you have a negative exponent, you would flip the fraction in order to leave yourself with y to the negative 3 over x to the negative 2 times, well, to the power of positive 2. So that'll be as simple as just doing that flip in the fraction, which would then leave you once again doing this same concept of y to the negative 3 times 2 and x to the negative 2 to the power of 2, which would leave you with y to the negative 6 over x to the negative 4, and then be this same concept of copy change flip when you're dividing the fractions, which will leave you with x to the power of 4 or y to the power of 6. And as you can see, they both give you the same answer, so it'll just be depending on the situation. Which, once again, math is a lot of trial and error, so it's always good to know the different ways of doing even just the same thing. And that will be it for today. So if you have any more questions, tutor.com is always a great source for more information or for any help that you would need. And thank you for watching.